Welcome to this video for Thomas Hardy students about how you can see which live lessons you might have coming up in the coming weeks. You can access your list of scheduled live lessons by going to the calendar on Teams. If you're logged into the Teams app, on the left hand side you'll notice there's an option called Calendar. If you click on that, it will bring you up your calendar for the week. And if you scroll through using the arrows at the top right, you can scroll from one week to the next. If I scroll to this week here, you can see that this student here has a number of live lessons that have been scheduled across the week by their teachers. We can see that on Monday afternoon there's a physical geography lesson, on Tuesday morning there's a maths lesson, on Tuesday afternoon there's an English lesson, and so on. What you will also notice if you log into your school email account is that you will start to soon receive some notifications when teachers assign a live lesson for your classes. If we have a look here in this student's inbox, we can see that they've got a number of notifications explaining that they have been set or invited to a live lesson by their teacher. When you click on any of these emails, it will bring up some options for you to either accept or decline the meeting that you've been invited to. Ultimately, you don't have to reply to those invitations. The meeting or the lesson will appear on your calendar anyway, and you'll still be able to join the lesson even if you haven't clicked accept. If you want to, you can just delete the email by clicking on this button here. Or if you do want to accept, you can click on the accept button and then you can click send the response now. And what that will do is just mark on the team system that you have accepted that lesson. What you don't want to do is click decline. If you click on decline and send that response, that meeting will actually disappear from your calendar. So where I've declined that history lesson has now disappeared from my calendar on Teams. So please, whatever you do not click decline. You do have the option to be able to reply to those lessons by clicking on the lesson in your calendar and clicking here where it says RSVP. Here you can click accept and it would mark that you are going to be able to attend that meeting. If you again were to click on RSVP and click decline, that lesson would disappear from your calendar. So once again, it's really important to remember that you don't click decline. You can either accept them or just ignore them, but please don't decline them. What you will also notice is that some notifications about those lessons will appear in the feed for your team. So you can see here under this demonstration team here, we can see where this teacher has assigned lots of different lessons for that week. Obviously you would have each lesson being assigned by a different teacher. When it comes to joining your lessons, you can do that in one of two ways. You can either click on the lesson in your Teams feed here, and then when it's time for your lesson, you can click the join button in the top right hand corner. That will bring up the screen that you would normally use when you join a lesson. You've got the option to turn your camera on or off and to turn your microphone on or off, and then you can join that lesson as normal. The other way that you can join a lesson is actually through the calendar on Teams. If, for example, on this Monday afternoon it was time for my geography lesson, you could click on the lesson and then you could click join here, and it would take you through the same route, enabling you to join that lesson, turning on your microphone or your camera and then clicking join. So that should be all you need to know about how to see which lessons you've got coming up. Your teachers will start to schedule those lessons in the coming weeks, and you should be able to see which ones you have coming up that week or coming up that day. It's worth remembering that you can toggle the view of your calendar. So if you just wanted to look at one particular day, you can see your day laid out like this, as if that's a little bit easier for you to see what's coming up in that day. And you can also access your calendar if you click through your emails on the top left hand icon where there's lots of squares. If you click there and click calendar, you can also see the lessons that are scheduled for that week within your calendar here. You'll notice that the ones that you have clicked accept for appear in a different colour to the ones where you've not responded to those lessons. As I said, it doesn't matter whether you respond or not. The key thing is making sure that you don't click decline. Hopefully that's useful. Please let your tutor or somebody else at school know if you're having trouble with any aspect of Teams.